The questions.
Yeah, let me jump into the Royal, rewilding the Royal.
Good.
I don't have much information on that, so this is really that we're starting the project. Platypuses have not been seen in the Royal National Park in at least 20 years, if not more. We're not sure why. And we want to bring back platypuses to the Royal National Park. We think we're hoping it's still it's in good condition, yet to be determined and evaluated. And we want to give the opportunity to as many people to appreciate the rivers and the platypuses that can inhabit them, to really foster this kind of caring of country. So we know that platypuses occurred in the Royal. These historical accounts of platypuses in the Royal National Park. And we know that in 81, there was this massive chemical spill in the Royal. Other than that, the Royal National Park is the second oldest national park in the world, and so it's quite pristine. I don't think the deer might have an impact, maybe not. I'm not too sure about the water quality. We're looking into that as well, taking sedimentation samples. But foxes may pose a threat to platypuses, but again, I would assume it's only during dry periods. But maybe the Royal, the rivers there, the Hacking and the Kangaroo rivers there are susceptible to drying, and hence the platypuses there are more susceptible to predation by foxes. So this is something that we're going to look into. So the first step that we want to do is these are sites where we've done eDNA surveys in the Royal National Park. So this is a very exhaustive and extensive exercise, which I thank Yana and Brett, and of course, please forgive me if I didn't mention anyone, but Ralph, Peter, Basil, and David, you have my thanks. And so this mammoth effort of surveying sites every 2-3 kilometers, and they're currently being analyzed, and we hope to see if there are still platypuses there. Then fantastic. We need to look at them. We need to maybe the population there needs what we call a reinforcement. Maybe they're at a very low number that is not viable in the long term, genetically or in terms of numerically. So this is something that we will hear back very soon, and I will tell you all about that. And so the last slide, in terms of what's our kind of timeline, what we're hoping is we're going to look at first, so we've got the eDNA, presence, absence, platypus is still around. And then we're going to look at the habitat and the threats to platypuses. And that ties, I was hearing a bit about the management plan for the Royal that's being developed. And so we submitted our recommendations for that as well. So I think in terms of controlling foxes, definitely needs to be evaluated and undertaken. And we'll look at the water quality and sedimentation and any heavy metal residues that might still occur there. Then we need to identify source populations where we're actually going to collect platypuses from, and we need to make sure that does not impact where we're actually collecting platypuses. And so we need to consider genetically, morphologically, all of that. So it's going to be centered in kind of southern New South Wales, which is where I am at the moment. So we'll identify source populations, evaluate how many, and define a collection threshold. We're aiming to collect 10 platypuses initially, 5 and 5, and translocate them to the Royal. So we'll collect them hopefully around July 2022. They'll have a quick stopover at Taronga Zoo. We'll make sure that their body condition is coming out of winter. They're a bit poor. So we're going to fatten them up, make sure they're good, and send them off to the Royal in August. And then we have a post-translocation monitoring that will take about 1.5 years. And there are opportunities to be involved in that. And so more to come. And then we're looking into sustaining long-term the population. So potentially more reinforcements, and depending on the monitoring and how everything goes with that. That's it. Thank you.